Yo, Marcus, low budget wisdom. So we need contrast in our lives for us to have meaning in anything. I've drawn a fairly simple diagram for you guys to understand better, right? So let's look at the red line, the red graph first. Don't be scared. This is not a math video. It's not some math tutorial. You don't have to learn anything. There's no calculation. It's just an explanation, right? So as you can see on the red sine graph, like there's a wave, a sine wave up there. If we do not meet ourselves at our darkest parts, if we do not accept ourselves at the negative polarity, at the negative contrast of our full human experience, the darkness at the bottom, then we would not understand what happiness is. We need the dark to understand the light, right? Let's just get the blue one out of the way. So, the degree to which we have explored our darkness or we have integrated our shadow self, some people call it, the degree to which we have plunged into our deepest aspect of who we are will be exactly correlated to its opposite of how much happiness, how much of the height that we can attain. Because we need a balance. Everything is balanced in nature. Nothing goes out of balance, right? That's why we have things called karma. It's a balancing act. What you do unto others will be done unto you, right? So energy is not created nor destroyed, it is only transferred. What you give out, your intentions, your feelings, your thoughts, your speech, your actions, all these will be returned back to you. So some people call that karma or whatever. It's the same concept. Everything returns to equanimity. So yeah, as we have to integrate our darkness. We have to integrate and accept our deepest, you know, deepest traumas, the experiences that caused us a lot of discomfort in the past, right? We have to dive into that and explore what it means to be human, right? So that is the part of it. And let's just be honest, guys. For us, in order to love ourselves fully and 100%, in order to love ourselves fully, we cannot neglect and disown the experiences that have shaped us. In order to love ourselves truly, we cannot disown the experiences that have shaped us. And so this ties into the second graph as well, the blue chart, the blue sign chart, right? Sometimes we have habits, we have thoughts, we have thinking patterns, we have things that we do, things that we express, feelings that we express that are more towards the ego self, right? Is at the bottom. There are things that we are not really proud of, or things that cause us a lot of, you know, a lot of overthinking, anxiety, jealousy, anger, all these things. That's our ego self expressing itself in this world. And here, up here, we have our true self, which we, you know, some people call it enlightenment, some people call it peace, some people call it joy, bliss. That's our true self. People call it pure consciousness. Some people call it God consciousness, Christ consciousness, Buddha consciousness. That is our true self. We are the conscious awareness that is sitting right inside at the center of us, observing everything that is happening, observing our ego self, our 3D self, our meat suit, observing our labels, what we call ourself, this body, right? Doing things, going around, meeting people, working, partying, loving, having, relationships, having experiences, driving, eating, sleeping. That pure consciousness is our true self. That we are the conscious awareness that is aware and just watching whatever is happening, right? So sometimes we have habits that come out from the ego self, gets expressed out from the ego self. And what do we usually do? We judge it. Oh, man, I've been smoking for so many years. I'm a smoker. I'm a chain smoker. I'm so guilty and shameful for that because society tells me that chain smoking is a very unhealthy and detrimental experience for the human body. You're going to kill yourself. Well, it's not worth it. You're going to get cancer. Screw all that. Oh, I'm a shopaholic. I shop too much. I buy things that I do not need. I'm a workaholic. I work, all day, all night without, spending time with my family. I feel guilty. Society shames me. My peers, they don't understand why I work so much. Whatever addiction or bad habits, overeating, oversleeping, all these things, it is your ego self trying its hardest to express itself freely without judgment. But we as humans, we like to have a sense of control over the things that we do, but we do not understand that we do not actually have any control over what we are trying to do. And I'm not saying this in a way where I'm not saying this in a way where, oh man, I don't have to be responsible for myself. No, I'm saying this in the sense that what I'm asking from each of us, hopefully, is just to be aware of our ego selves expressing itself, right? Because we are not separate from our ego self. We are deeply, deeply connected. We are integrated. The ego self cannot exist without our higher true self, and the true self would not exist without the ego self. You see? Just like happiness cannot exist with darkness or pain, joy cannot exist with sadness. It is a balancing act. So our job is just to observe from the perspective of a conscious observer, the true self and the ego self, right? And sometimes when we have habits, why not allow yourself with full permission to go and do that thing, to go and do that bad habit, to go and do that thing that society says is not good for you. Sometimes in order to break a habit, you have to do it so much to the point where your body starts breaking down, or you're just grown tired of it. And it's like, man, why am I even smoking? It doesn't even taste good. It doesn't actually give me any joy or pleasure. Why am I having this habit? Just be aware. Okay, I'm smoking. Stop feeling guilty about that. Because the more you feel guilt and shame and fear of condemnation, of people judging you, people don't judge. People care about themselves so much more than they could ever care about you. If people feel cringy when they see you do something, it is nothing personal. It has never been about you. They feel cringy because they cannot bear themselves. They cannot bear seeing themselves do something like that. So it is not you. Don't take everything so personal. They do not have the sense of confidence to be able to do what you do. That's why they feel cringy. And that's why they judge you. Right? They judge you because you have shown them that it is okay to do what you do. They don't have to feel cringy. And so now they get mad because their belief system is that doing something like what you are doing is cringy. You see? And so they get mad at you because you have proven to them that it is possible to do something like that without feeling cringed, without feeling cringed out. You see? And so now their sense of ego and belief is shattered. Now they don't have an explanation, a controlled explanation to why I don't want to start a business, why I don't want to do something, why I don't want to build relationships, why I don't want to work on myself, because it's hard. It exposes them to the light. Oh, I hate this person because he's cringy. And instead of thinking like that, they don't have the ability, or they do not want to, or maybe they are not ready to look within themselves. Why am I feeling cringy when this person does this thing so confidently? Is it because this person is reflecting back to me what I can actually achieve, but I'm just too afraid to do it? Am I just giving up too many excuses? You know, am I just intellectualizing it and using logical explanations to talk myself out of it so that I don't have, so that I control my whole life so seriously to the point where I will never fail because I don't have to try. I won't fail if I don't try, right? I don't have to be laughed at if I don't do anything, if I don't try, if I don't fail. And so it's a protective bubble that we have built around our own lives, right? So, talking back to the ego self, do what you need to do, even if it's cringy, even if sometimes it feels like society is judging you. Sometimes you gotta feed you gotta feed the ego self to the point where it's sick of it, truly, truly sick of it, and we don't control that. This is very important. We don't control when we stop a habit. We don't control when we stop doing certain things. When we that is all up to God, to universal consciousness, to our higher self. It's all when the time is right, you will know what to do. And if at this moment you're feeling guilt or shame or whatever society throws on you, whatever society expects you to do, and you don't feel good about it, throw that all away. If you are a workaholic, work. Do it. If you're a shopaholic, do it. Shop till you are broke. Literally, you're not gonna die. You might have debts and all that, but if you're a shopaholic and you can't control yourself, do it. Do it until you're so fed up with what you're doing, and you suddenly have that realization, you know what? Why am I even buying so many things? Why am I even working so many hours, even though it is counterproductive? Why am I chain smoking? Even though I know that it will ruin my life down the line. Why am I still drinking so much alcohol day in and day out, even though it messes with my sleep cycle, it destroys my relationships with my friends and my family? Why? We have to look within ourselves and see maybe our ego self is just trying to express itself so that we can start moving back to our true self. That's it. Maybe we're trying to master our darkness so that we can understand fully what happiness is. We gotta come down to the bottom to feel what that habit is. Maybe it's karma. It's our soul contract or something like that. I'm so sorry for talking too long. It's a 14-minute video. And thanks for watching, guys. If you have made it this far, please do subscribe. It means so much to me. Comment down below if you have any opinions or ideas or thoughts that you would like to share, and share this video if it helps your family or your colleagues, your friends, your sister, your dog, anything. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.